A very effective way to increase your open rates and make more sales from the broadcast emails you send to your list is to use the A/B testing feature in broadcasts. Let me show you how this works. From your dashboard under FunnelKit Automations, click on Broadcasts. Then click Create Email Broadcast, name your broadcast, and click Add. Inside of the broadcast wizard, under Step 1 Information, select A/B Test. Then click Next. Use the filters to define the audience you want to send this broadcast email to, or alternatively, click Apply Audiences to select a predefined audience that you wish to send this broadcast to. For this demonstration, I'm just going to send this to my entire list. So I'll scroll down and click Next. And then on Step 3 is where you design the content of the different emails in your A/B test. The first design that you'll create is known as the control. So let's go ahead and set our control. So here I'll put a subject, I'll add some preview text, and then I'll use the drag and drop email builder to design this email. With it selected, I'll click Edit to launch the email builder. And I'll use this out of the box design here by clicking Preview and then selecting Import Template. For this demonstration today, I won't go ahead and design the email. If you want to see how to use the drag and drop email builder, see our separate videos about the email builder. For now, I'll click Save, and then I'll return to our email. Scrolling down the bottom, I'll enable UTM parameters on all links so I can track this in analytics software like Google Analytics. And with this first email, known as the control, now designed, I can go ahead and set up the second email for my A/B test. To do so, I'll click Add Variant, and that takes my control email and duplicates it into a second variant, known as Variant A. One of the biggest impacts on the success of the broadcast emails you send is your subject line, because without a good subject line, no one opens up your email to see the actual email. So you have to put a lot of emphasis on writing a good subject line. And this is why A/B testing the subject line is so powerful. So let's go ahead and do that by adding an alternative subject line to Variant A. So one idea that I like to test is making the subject line more personalized by mentioning someone's first name. So to do that, let's click Edit to launch the email builder, and then I'll click on any element and then click on Merge Tag, and I'll search for first name, and here's contact first name. I'll click the gear icon and then click Copy to copy that merge tag, and then I'll return and put that into the subject line. So the subject line for Variant A will say Quick, and then the person's first name. Our Black Friday sale starts now. You also have the ability to add a third variation. If I click Add Variant, now our control variant has been duplicated a second time, ready for us to customize. So the subject line for our Variant B will say, Your VIP Black Friday deals are waiting, and then the person's first name. Now, as you'll notice, when I went ahead and did the A/B test, I created the control, and then I added a variant to create Variant A. I changed the subject line, and then I added a second variant where I changed the subject line. The only thing that I'm changing across the different variants here is the subject line. And that's important. Whenever you create an A/B test, you want to change one thing across the different variants so that you know that that one thing had that effect on the outcome when we look at the analytics after we send this A/B test. If you change too many things across your different variants, you're not going to know which one had the impact that you're seeing in your analytics at the end of the test. With the different emails inside of our A/B test now complete and set up, scrolling down to the bottom, we have an option that says Smart Sending, and let's enable that to see what this does. So here we have a tooltip that says how Smart Sending works, and it says this broadcast will go to the first 15% of your contacts. After 3 hours, the variant with the highest open rate will be sent to the rest of the audience. And as you can see, you have the ability to change these two variables here. And here's an idea of how you might like to adjust these based on your list. The main thing to keep in mind is that your A/B test needs to be sent to enough people so that the results of the A/B test are not just random and by chance. So you're really just adjusting these two settings here to ensure that you're sending this A/B test to enough contacts where the results of the A/B test are meaningful and not random. So if you have a larger email list, you could get away with using a lower number here and a lower number here. If you have a smaller list, you might need to increase these numbers here so that you're sending the A/B test to a larger percent of your list, and you're also waiting a little bit longer so that you can have enough people interact with your A/B test so that you can draw a conclusion from the test and have the smart sending take over and send that winning variant to the remainder of the list. On step 4, we can review everything that we just set up during the wizard. We could choose to schedule this broadcast to be sent at a specific date and time in the future, but for now, I'm going to click Broadcast Now to send this right away. And finally, I'll click Send Now. And that will initiate the broadcast being sent to this audience, further indicated by the ongoing status in the top right. We'll see some stats update here as the broadcast continues to be sent out, and if we click on Analytics, we can see a more detailed breakdown of what's going on, including the total opens and clicks, as well as a breakdown of each of the different variants inside of our A/B test and how they're performing, including the sent, open rate, click rate, and conversions for each A/B test. For this broadcast, we set Smart Sending to send this to 30% of our list and wait for 9 hours before it drew a conclusion from the results to send the remainder of the audience the winning variation. So with that in mind, these statistics will continue to update, and in 9 hours time from now, the variant with the highest open rate will be sent out to the remaining 70% of the audience that this broadcast was scheduled to be sent to. As well as testing different subject lines to see which one gives you the highest open rates, another really important aspect of emails that you can A/B test is the design of the email itself. Here I am in another broadcast. And if I scroll down and click Edit, this is what my broadcast email looks like. Let's go ahead and create a second design for our email. So like before, I'll click Add Variant, which takes my control and clones it to variant A, and then I'll scroll down and click Edit to customize this design. In this case, I'm going to click Templates, and scrolling down, I'm going to click to preview this pre-made design. I really like that this design makes the sale front and center in big, bold lettering. So let's go Import Template, and then click Proceed to replace the existing template, and then I'll quickly customize the design to be more about our Black Friday sale. I'll click Save, and then Exit to return to the email. So now we have 2 emails inside of our A/B test, the control and the variant, and everything's exactly the same across these emails except for the design of the email, which is intentional because that way we know the result of the A/B test was caused from the design of the email. And just like before, we would proceed through the wizard, review our email, and then click Send Now to send our broadcast out. As well as testing the subject lines of your emails and the design of the emails, here's some other ideas that you might like to use the A/B testing feature for. You could test different call to actions. For example, the buttons in one variant could say Shop Now, and in the second variant, they could say Claim this deal. You could test writing a long email versus a shorter email. You could also test designing the email using nice graphics versus another email where you just write text like it's a personal letter. If you're an existing FunnelKit user, jump in, give this a go, and if you get stuck, reach out to our support. If you're not already experiencing the powerful features of FunnelKit Automations, then definitely head on over to our pricing page or reach out to our pre-sales team. We're happy to help.